turning sideways. I can't take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. And I got love, I've got this love, I've got my hurricane. Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can't take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. Just give me the feeling, push my motor every day. Gospel of a throttle, push my engine all the way. Singing na 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 na. Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. And I gotta love, I got this love, I got my hurricane. Catch me if I'm speeding, push my motor every day. Hustle up muscle, push my engine all the way. Everybody na 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 na. Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can't take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. And I got love, I've got this love, I've got my hurricane. Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can't take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. And I gotta love, I got this love, I got my Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can't take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. And I got love, I've got this love, I've got my hurricane. Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can't take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can't take this pressure no more. Gotta move like a hurricane. And I got love. I've got this love. I've got my hurricane. Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can't take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. Just give me the feeling, push my motor every day. Gospel of a throttle, push my engine all the way. Singing na 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 na. Driving, twisting, turning sideways. I can take this pressure no more. Gotta love like a hurricane. And I gotta love. I got this love. I got my hurricane.
Everybody ready, set, go. Rev it up and let's roll. There's a party in the fast lane. Got my hands on the wheel and I'm flying. Heartbeat loud as the thunder rolls. Riding in on the stampede of lightning. I'm bringing back the sunshine. Bringing back the sunshine. Baby, it's about time. Bring it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NASCAR Late Model Stock Weekly Series here on iRacing. I'm your host, as always, Ryan Murphy, or as most call me, the Murph, here in the series. We thank you guys so much for tuning in for yet another week of action-packed racing here on the short track circuits on the iRacing Simulator service. Now, what's very special, what's very important as we go into this race tonight is it is round one, race number one of the 5-race-long playoffs. And what's so important about that, you say? Well, at the end of those 5-race playoffs, we will crown a brand new, first ever champion for the Late Model Stock Weekly Series here on iRacing. We've got 10 drivers who are all going to be fighting for that championship, and we'll go over that here in just a second. But first off, we got to introduce you to the racetrack that these drivers will be doing a little bit of a tango with here tonight, and that is none other than the famed, the glorious Myrtle Beach Speedway that was and used to be, unfortunately, down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It is no more, unfortunately, but thanks to the iRacing service, we have access to it and the ability to race it. And we're so grateful that we can relive and continue to make memories at this esteemed racetrack, whether virtual or real. But either way, as we look down at this beautiful, little over a half-mile in-length speedway, it's about 5/38 of a mile, and then we have in each end of the racetrack there are 13 degrees of banking through turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4. And there's a little bit of a difference in the straightaways. You wouldn't notice it just by giving it an odd glance. But on the front straightaway, you see it's got a little bit of a tri-oval kind of feel as it gets up there towards the front stretch grandstands and the flag stand. Going there through the front straightaway, it has 4 degrees of banking before they dive down into turn 1 and meet that steep climb, which doesn't look too noticeable, but that 13 degrees, you can sure feel it behind the wheel of these race cars. And then on the back straightaway, when they come off of turn 2, it drops down back to that level banking more or less, but it drops down to 3 degrees of banking on the back straightaway versus the 4 that you'll see on the front straightaway. Now, you may think 1 degree isn't a lot, but it can make a difference when it comes to the handling of these race cars. Now, we talked about this speedway, unfortunately, no longer in operation, was recently torn down, most of it. There was some plans to put housing establishments on this, but at the moment, at least to my knowledge, it is just kind of left, and it's kind of in an empty grass lot now with a couple of the walls, all that remain of this beautiful racetrack. But it has a lot of great history within the sport. Opened up in 1958 under a completely different name. It was actually a dirt track. It eventually got paved, and we saw multiple generations of drivers across multiple different disciplines, but mostly in stock car racing, take on this racetrack. There was 4 generations of the Petty family. All 4 generations of the Pettys raced here at Myrtle Beach. 3 generations of the Earnhardts, those being starting with Ralph all the way back in the 50s and 60s, and then Dale obviously grew up cutting his cloth from this same racetrack. And then his son, Dale Jr., as well as Kelly Earnhardt Miller, raced here in late models at some point or another in their careers. So that's kind of a little brief overview of where we're racing at tonight, but these drivers are going to have their hands full in the hot and slick summer sun here in Myrtle Beach. Now, race information for you guys before we get started with some more analysis. These drivers are going to be racing for 175 laps. This is one of the longer races of the season. We're going to have a possible halfway caution at or around lap 100. That's going to depend on the amount of cautions we have throughout those first 100 laps. And those guys, given that caution, will have an opportunity to put on tires, top off on fuel, and hopefully be able to make it the rest of the way. Now, with that being said, each driver is going to have 3 sets of Hoosier tires in their pits that they can pull from, as well as a fast repair in their back pocket in case a little trouble decides to fall their way. Now, with that being said, let's line up and kind of discuss your playoff grid as we look at the leaderboard so far here in practice through 14 minutes. This is your leaderboard for the top 14 quickest times thus far tonight. No surprise, Bandit Motorsports topping the board with Bryce Sanders and Cole Denton topping the charts. Sanders up top, Denton there in the 2nd spot, and then Austin Cook, who currently leads the points, is there in 3rd. Nathan Lyons, newcomer to the series, there in 4th, and then David Stuck, who's also a newcomer into the series, sits in the 5th spot to round out the top 5 so far here in practice, and these times are inept to change. I've got 15 minutes to try to find a little more speed in these late model stocks, try to figure something out. But either way, let's take a look at your points battle as we begin the playoffs. So after last week at Nashville, we set the playoff grid of 10 total drivers. 8 of those drivers are currently in the field with us tonight. So it's going to put 2 guys on the back foot. Those 2 guys being Blaine Miller and Aiden Walker. It's going to put them on the back foot here early through these 5 race playoffs. But for the drivers that are here, that's Austin Cook, who won your regular season championship, and he is going to be on top of the standings as we go into the first round of the playoffs here with here at Myrtle Beach. He starts off with 1,100 points, and then with every position down, it's 10 points below from where we reset the playoff field. So Tyler Curley, Cook's teammate there at TJC Racing, follows up behind him there in 2nd with 1,090 points. Cole Denton is 3rd position with 1,080. Tyler Bauer, with his wicked consistency and always being able to show up at the racetrack in that 21 car, comes out with 1,070 or 1,070 points in that 4th spot as we start the playoffs. Bryce Sanders got to put back a little bit this before with his penalty last week at Nashville, unable to race that race last week, but already showing good pace here in practice. He is 5th on the point standings as we start the playoffs with 1,060 points. Jordan Powell is behind him with 1,050 in the 6th spot. Blaine Miller, like we said, not in the field tonight, but he has 1,040 points in 7th. Duncan Faw has 1,030 in 8th. Aiden Walker, who, again, like we said, not in the field with us tonight, is 9th with 1,020 points in his 2 wins. And then Robbie Holder, who was locked into the playoffs, and he is now actually going to be our race control going forward throughout the rest of these playoffs, and we're thankful for him to doing that. Actually opted out of his playoff spot, and that allowed PJ O'Leary, the Nashville kid who we talked to last week prior to the race, is going to jump up into that final spot in the playoff grid. So we've got a big field of drivers here tonight. Some of them are in, some of them are newcomers to the series. But we have a lot of guys chasing the championship, and it's going to be interesting to see how they race each other, especially at a racetrack like Myrtle Beach that is so hard to handle. You see Tyler Curley come way off the corner there on turn 4 and almost get into the outside wall. Now, obviously, we have a whole lot of drivers to get through as we start these playoffs, and 10 drivers total, 8 of them racing tonight. So we're going to see if we can get a couple of words from them as we get started. And I think the best place to start is going to be with none other than the points leader, and that's that driver, that number 17 car, and that's Austin Cook. Also, a thing to note is if you notice some of these drivers coming around here with the red splitters, the red spoilers, and those red banners above the windshield, those are going to be your playoff drivers on the racetrack. So you guys just have a little bit of a better visual aid while you're watching the race to kind of know who all is racing to the playoffs. As Austin Cook kills the outside wall. It gets a little loose there off turn 2. These guys are going to be battling that condition all night long. You see him coming down the pit road entry, which has its own little interesting entryway. So that's going to be one thing these drivers might have to battle as well if we end up having to have green flag pit stops. But nonetheless, we're going to see if we can get a little word from our points leader, and that's Austin Cook in the 17. Oh my God, that thing scares me every time. Austin, what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Well, the playoffs have started. You're top of the leaderboards. Couldn't possibly be in any better of a scenario. Going into first time we're here at Myrtle Beach for the season, and the only time we'll be here this season. How do you feel about your odds going into tonight?
I feel pretty confident. Not really a track that I've ever really run, not a track that I've ever really ran good at. I've already protested the 15's car. I got his motoring tech and his tires and rolling them right there as we speak. But either way, I think we have a good shot at it. I know we definitely have a really good highlighter. I think we got a little points boost as well, being the regular season champion, so we have a little bit extra cushion to work with us on that. But I mean, at the end of the day, we always bring out a really good car come race time.
For sure. Now, obviously, you talked about Myrtle Beach is a little bit different track, maybe one you're not used to running as much as others. With the ones that we do have after Myrtle Beach, Five Flags, South Boston, Richmond, Hickory, of those races, do you think you're pretty well rounded in terms of all those different tracks?
Definitely a handful of them. I wouldn't say all of them, but I can wheel my own at Five Flags in Richmond. Had really 2 good runs there earlier this season. Not counting Five Flags, wasn't there for that. But Thompson, I know we'll probably be really good at, and Hickory, we would have had it if our teammate didn't get in the way earlier this season.
Yeah. I was going to say that was a drama-filled race for sure. You guys had a little run in there at the end. Speaking of your teammate, he's just right there behind you in points. How do you guys work together, if at all, over the course of these next 5 races?
That's a really good question, actually. I wouldn't say the teammate aspect goes out the window, but it's definitely not as prominent as it was when we were both trying to get into the playoffs now. It's more or less the fact of almost really pushing the faster car to the win if one of us knows that we can't make it.
For sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, hey, we're going to wish you a little bit of luck tonight. We've got a couple more drivers to get through here with interviews, but thanks for taking a minute to talk with us, and good luck tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
10-4. All right, let's see. That was Austin Cook. He's currently top of the point standings as we start the playoffs. And then just behind him, like we mentioned there in that conversation, is Tyler Curley driving that 4 car down the back straightaway. At present, he's going to be second in the points here as we start the playoffs, and we'll go ahead and see if we can get a quick word in with the driver of that DeWalt Chevrolet. I'm sure we're going to scare him to death, and you'll probably hear an Eric Jones soundbite whenever I get him up here in the channel. Oh, it didn't. Wow. Tyler, what's up, man? Dadgummit, I knew it was going to do that. I thought it didn't do it. Well, hey, man, what's up? How you doing? How you feeling?
We are doing all right. I do not feel good about the car.
I was going to say, I was about to ask you, how does the car feel and how does the track feel at the moment?
It's pretty interesting. I mean, that's not invisible? Oh, that's invisible. Whoops, you didn't see that. No one saw that. You're all good. I don't know. I mean, the track, I don't know this place, so I'm just So it shows how much a good points out of this. I mean, I cannot figure this place out. I don't know how to enter one. I figured out how to exit 2. I figured out how to exit 4. I do not know how to enter 1 or enter 3. I cannot figure that out. But car feels alright, just the driver is not alright. So we'll see how it goes in the race, though. My goal is just to finish ahead of Austin. That's all I care about. So that's extra cash. That's my money.
I was gonna say, you guys have that. I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of actually forgot that point a little bit. So when you're racing around Austin, I actually asked him more over the course of the playoffs. Do you race each other any differently, or how does that teammate aspect change? So not only do you have to deal with the playoff implications, but tonight you have the Dash for Cash on top of that. So I'll ask you the same question. With that being kind of playing a factor, and the next 5 races of the playoffs, how do you think you race Austin differently, if at all?
How do I say this?
You'd be like Denny Hamlin and tell him you move your mama for a race win, basically.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's better than me. He's already ahead of me in the standings, and there's only one way to catch up, and that's beat him. So I mean, I'm not gonna wreck him, but I mean, like, you know,
I mean, I'm not
4 final lap, we're side by side. I might not lift out of the throttle to give a run exit. I might.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that he may not have brought up Hickory in his interview a few minutes ago, but you know.
If he's still mad about that, bro. I mean, I'm gonna bring that up too. Like, if it's like Hickory,
don't know.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I really don't care. 'Cause I ain't gonna win the championship, so I mean, I think after 1 to 2 races, it clearly shows that Austin has a shot to get the championship. I'm gonna do. I mean, it's teamwork, right? I'm gonna do as much as I can to get my car the championship, no matter if I'm driving it or not. So, but I mean, these first race or 2, not gonna like wreck them. But I mean, I'm definitely gonna, like, you know, race them like everyone else. Just, you know, I'm not gonna lie off your bumper. I'm gonna be right there. I'm not gonna lie for door. I'm gonna be right there. You know, I mean, teammates are teammates, but when it's playoff time, we're going for a championship. So, I mean, we'll see how everything goes. But you know, like I said, like a race or 2 in, he clearly shows he's better than me. I'm never gonna battle him. I'll do what I can to help him out more than anything.
For sure. Hey, well, that's good to hear. I'll go ahead and let you get back in your team chat because we got a whole lot of more drivers to talk to. But thanks for taking a minute out of your time to talk with us, and maybe we'll talk to you later in Victory Lane.
Yep, that's not gonna happen. Okay. Thanks for thinking about that. That ain't gonna happen. Goodbye.
Yeah, as always, the overconfident, catch the sarcasm in that, Tyler Curley, going into tonight's rate at Myrtle Beach, 2nd in the points standings. Next up, none other than that driver right there, the 46, who has lit the world on fire this season, especially when it comes to taking pole positions. And that's with missing several of the races. He has double the next closest guy in terms of total pole positions. He has 8 on the season. He's going to go for a 9th pole tonight here at Myrtle Beach. And the next closest guy to him, Austin Cook, the guy we just talked to a minute ago, he has 4 poles. So Cole Denton has double the amount of poles. He is absolutely the rocket man of this series in the behind the wheel of this City Chevrolet number 46 entry here in the Late Model Stock Weekly Series. But either way, let's see if we can get a quick word with him before practice comes to a conclusion. Cole Denton, what's up, buddy? Oh, I may have stalled him. Waiting on his...
Hello?
Oh, there he is. What's up, Cole?
Alright. Hey, well, I'm trying to get some more speed out of 4. I know that's where I'm losing ground. I just can't. Every time I'm getting low, at one point I was almost 10th to the good, and I got loose out of 4. So I'm just trying to, if I can keep it stuck to the ground out of 4, I think I'll be good.
I was going to say, you're going for your 9th pole position on the season, which is kind of crazy considering that how, you know, you've not had as many starts as some of the other guys, and yet you still have double the poles that the next closest guy does. And Austin Cook, he has 4. You have 8. And when you look at that, obviously you go for your 9th pole here tonight. Is getting the pole position on your mind, or is finishing the race and getting the most points as possible and going after that championship on your mind?
Honestly, finishing ahead of all of oh, Tyler. Oh, well, finishing ahead of the playoff drivers, that's kind of my key thing here. Getting the pole would help with points, and I think that's really going to be our main thing tonight.
Heck yeah. So going throughout, obviously this is just race 1 of the playoffs. We got a whole points reset and everything going forward. You're starting there in that 3rd position in points. Going over not just tonight, but the next couple races. What's your outlook as you look ahead to the last 4 races and you look at some of those tracks that we're going to?
Well, I know I'm really good at 5 flags. Just last time I blew a tire. I know that I can do good there. In South Boston, that's pretty much my favorite track on iRacing besides the bull ring. So got 2 tracks that I'm pretty good at, and then they replaced Thompson with Richmond, right?
Yes, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Richmond, I'm pretty good at. I got pole last time, just didn't have that long run speed. And Hickory's my kind of track. I mean, it's bumpy. You gotta move around, make sure you're good. And with the new update, it's super slick.
Heck yeah. Well, obviously, you go over to these next couple races. I think you've arguably been one of the fastest guys all season long. You're our most recent winner, so you're coming off with a lot of momentum. So how do you think, looking at Myrtle Beach, like you said, you're looking at that exit off 4. What, other than that, what are some things maybe you need to get the job done tonight?
I think just save tires because the track is burning up right now. I think saving tires, being there in the long run, just not getting loose. That's a big key, is not sliding your tires. So hopefully I'll be able to get it under control out of 4, and I'll be good to go.
Heck yeah, man. Well, hey, thanks for talking with us. We'll let you get back in your team channel, and good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, next up is going to be Tyler Bauer that we talked to here as practice comes to a close. Driver that number 21 car. We're going to line up for a group photo. This is all the playoff guys going to go ahead and get lined up. And while he's doing this, hopefully we don't interrupt anything, but we're going to go ahead and see if we can get a quick word in with that 21 car before things get underway. Bauer, what's up, buddy?
What you doing?
Well, you made it to the playoffs. You're 4th in points, which is super impressive, especially for a guy without a win. I would say you've really had that consistency. We've talked about it all season long. It feels like every time we've kind of had a chance to talk with you. Start of the playoffs, race number 1. What's your outlook? What's your plan? Not just tonight, but over the next 5 races.
Consistency. I mean,
that's been your story, isn't it?
Yeah, we're gonna go roll with it until it doesn't work. I don't think I'm gonna win the championship here. These guys are really competitive, and they're gonna be able to knock off wins left and right. But if I can finish like where I'm at, or like 3rd, I'd be very happy with that. So we'll have to see what happens and just run good, clean races.
For sure. Over, obviously we go to a kind of a variety of different oval tracks over the next couple weeks. Which of those, let it be multiple, do you think you have the best shot at some good runs and maybe even, going for a win?
I don't know. I would say South Boston. I feel like I learned a lot last time out there. I think I missed the Hickory and 5 flags race, so I'm not sure. But Richmond's one that I think I can do pretty decent at too. But it's just going to be about getting runs. I really want to get some top 5s. So that's kind of the goal. Get some top 5s.
Heck yeah. Well, hey, thanks for taking a minute out of your time here to talk with us. We'll let you go ahead and get lined up for to take on qualifying, and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
10-4. All right, that was Tyler Bauer driving the number 21 car. He's going to be starting 4th in the points as we get going here in the playoffs. Next up, behind him in points is going to be Bryce Sanders, who rounded out the top of the practice charts as they came to a close here at Myrtle Beach. So showing some really good short run speed already. See if we can get a quick word with the driver of the 15. Bryce Sanders, Wheelman, what's up, man?
Going on, man.
Well, you made it to the playoffs. I don't think there was ever any doubt. We're here at Myrtle Beach. First time we've been here all season. Obviously, you were really quick in practice. But sometimes short run speed, long run speed doesn't always translate. How do you feel about your car and your package as a whole as we get started here in qualifying?
I feel like that my short run car is pretty good, but I feel like we're gonna do good in qualifying, but you never know. Tires, I was doing a practice race with Cole earlier, and we raced like side by side for like 10 laps, and I was on the bottom, and my tires were destroyed. So I'm probably going to stay away from side-by-side racing for early on in the race and maybe stay up a lane or something. So try to save tires and hopefully be there at the end.
Heck yeah, I think that's pretty much a lot of people's game plans tonight is really trying to save those tires underneath this South Carolina sun. Now, obviously, you're starting fifth here in the playoffs. You'll be fifth in the point standings as we start this race here tonight at Myrtle Beach. Little bit of a points gap to dig out of if you want to jump up for that number one spot over the next 5 races. What races, and maybe you include this one, do you look at as an opportunity to really dig into that points gap?
I think we have a really good shot tonight. Let me look at the schedule.
I know we're going to Richmond, so you
yeah,
won there last
Richmond,
time, so.
Yeah, I might. 5 flags, I think we might get a top 3. I'm not best at 5 flags. South Boston, I'm pretty good there, but you never know. It's South Boston, anything can happen there. And then Richmond, we won last time, so hopefully we can get it done again. Then Hickory, really a strategy racetrack right there. So you never know what happened there. So we'll just see what happens. We'll see what hopefully we can get some wins and hopefully get some top 3s, stack up some points, and hopefully get the championship.
For sure. Hey, well, thanks for taking a minute to talk with us. Glad to have you back racing with us as we start the playoffs, and good luck tonight, bud.
Thank you, man.
All right, that was Bryce Sanders driving the number 15 car for Bandit Motorsports. He's going to be rolling off these playoffs in the 5th position. But right now, Elmore out on the racetrack in the 02, who is absolutely blinking out of his mind in that Sunoco Chevrolet. Maybe he's going to settle down a little bit once he gets up to speed here, but he's going to be our first car out in qualifying. 15 cars in the field tonight. We're going to see how the 02 stacks up. Oh, boy. Still some blinking out of this 02 car. I would say it's looking good or it's looking bad, but you can't quite see him half the time. See where this puts him on the chart. First lap of 20 flat. That's not going to be too good. At least here as we start this first round. There he is. Oh, big slide off turn 4. See where this puts him. Any kind of improvement on that lap? He does. Cuts about half a second off. It's going to be a 19:58, but this time around we got the 71 car of Kroll out on the racetrack. I believe this is going to be his first start in the series, so first ever qualifying laps for him as well. It's going to be his first heater lap. Going to kind of use this as a warm-up as he goes all the way down, wakes up the track on corner exit, and gets a big drive off towards the flag stand. See where this first lap puts him. Ooh, goes second quickest. Not too far behind Elmore, but he's going to need a big jump up the charts if he wants to maybe solidify starting in a good position. Oh, man, gets really tight there in turn 3. That's driving off hard, but I don't know how much momentum that's going to be or if it's going to be enough. It does, but only by about half a tenth. So 19:58 for, or actually it doesn't, I'm sorry. My timesheet just kind of bugged out there for a minute. So Josh Kroll not going to have enough speed to get that thing going. But right now, 48 car, William Cameron out on the racetrack. One of our international drivers here in the series from Quebec, Canada. Around for his first lap on the racetrack. Top of the board instantly for Cameron. Great lap there. Never a doubt in his mind. A quarter of a second quicker than William Elmore in that 02 with a 19:34. We'll see what kind of speed Cameron has in this Mustang for his second lap. Good line there through 3 and 4. Driving to the flag stand. Where does he get? No improvement. Still a 19:34, but not a bad lap there for Cameron. Up next, Jordan Powell, and we'll talk to him here shortly once he gets finished with his lap. Here, the driver of the number 75 Huffman Racing Chevrolet. See the playoff banners on that car. First lap out for Jordan Powell. Where does this put him? Second quickest, just behind William Cameron. He's going to need a little jump to leapfrog him for that top spot. We'll see if he can do it as he heads down the back. Driving all the way to the wall. Great little corner there from Jordan Powell. Way up the track, dead sideways for a second. Off turn 4, hits the start-finish line. Oh, and it's not going to be enough. Man, that looked like a quick lap, but just not enough to get past William Cameron for that top spot. Tyler Bauer, we talked to him just a moment ago, out on the racetrack for his first lap. One of our playoff drivers, 4th in the points for this first race. We'll see where this puts him. First lap out on the racetrack. Slow and steady, it looks like. Nice and smooth. Bottom of the charts at the moment, but he looks like he's maybe saving these tires as he gets sideways. Slides it to the inside wall, and around he goes. Big time contact. Out now on the racetrack, says the 10 car on your leaderboard, or it will. It's actually the 83 Camry of Hutchinson. It's going to be his first start in the series as well. It's got a good little lap going here, but it gets really tight in 3 and 4. We've been seeing this all night long. Not guys getting loose, but they're getting really tight in the center of the corner. First lap out for Hutchinson. It's going to put him 4th quickest. See where he can go on this second lap. Heads through 3 and 4. Does he get tight again? If he can keep from doing that, he wakes up the track. Oh, a lot of understeer as he comes off turn 4. I don't know how much more he's going to have in that car. And no jump for Colin Hutchinson in the 83. He's going to stay right where he's at. Next up, Tyler Curley, driver of the 4 car. Oh, my goodness, inches off the wall. First lap out, and Curley is letting it all hang out down the back straightaway through 3 and 4. A lot better corner there than we've seen in the last couple laps from some of these drivers. First lap on the board for Curley. Top of the board for Tyler Curley in the 4 car. 19:27. Does he have any improvement on the second lap? Great effort there from Curley through 3 and 4 a second time, about as smooth as the first. Gets a good rotation through the center of the corner. We'll have to see at the start-finish line, is it enough for an improvement? It does! Doubles the difference back to William Cameron. A 19:22 for Curley. Great effort from the 4 car there, 19:22. And now next up we got the 25, the Nashville kid, PJ O'Leary. Another one of our playoff drivers. He's all the way down there in 10th, and he's looking to make a hard charge up these point standings over the next 5 races. As he goes 2nd quickest, his first time out, and Curley had a pretty big jump on his second lap. We'll see if O'Leary can do the same. Those Rackley Roofing colors shining bright through 3 and 4, heading to the stripe. Does he have anything for Curley? He does not, but he has a little bit of improvement that might solidify a little better starting spot. All right, Duncan Faw, also one of our playoff drivers. He's 8th in the standings. Coming out for his qualifying lap. Nice little corner there. See if this puts Duncan all the way down in 5th, but he's going to need a big jump on this second lap, and it looks like he's rolling pretty good through the center of the corner. Some of these guys might have that raw pace, and some of them might have that short run speed. And Duncan is typically one of those guys who we see really come in over the long run in these races, as we see a little 2-position jump for Duncan Fall, but not enough to get the pole position, and falls just shy of PJ O'Leary's lap time. Up next, this kid was making waves last week at Nashville. Grantley Poole in the 7 car. He also made waves Tuesday night in the Piston Cup Series. The Iceman, driver the number 7. It's Grantley Poole as he comes out for his first lap. See if this puts him 6th quickest. Track might be slowing down just a little bit, but we'll see where the 7 shakes out after this second lap. Through 3 and 4, he's entering a little bit higher, not as close to that wall, and it looks like the rotation through the corner really paid off as he goes way to the fence. And he jumps up to 2nd, leapfrogs PJ O'Leary, but it's not enough to get past Tyler Curley, but a great qualifying effort nonetheless there for Grantley Poole in the 7 car. Up next, the 41 car. That's Snook, and I believe this is also his first start in the series in this Ford Mustang. Hard rotation with that right rear there. Oh my goodness, David Snook, top of the board, quick time for the 41 car. David Snook, holy cow, that did not look quick, but it was smooth. And almost a full 10th the difference to Snook over Curley. Arguably one of the smoothest laps we've seen all night. No improvement on the second lap for Snook, but it's not like he needs it as he goes top of the board with ease. Great effort there for David Snook. Up next, 21 car. Well, it says 21, but it's actually Nathan Lyons. So this is our secondary 21 car in the field. Driving this Chevrolet. First start for Nathan in the series. He races up in NR night, so it's good to have him here with us tonight. As he goes, oh my gosh, he almost ties David Snook, but he's just a couple of thousandths of a second behind. Holy cow, do we have a fight for the pole right here. At the stripe, what does Lyons have? No improvement, but almost a dead heat with Snook, but Snook takes it by just a couple thousandths of a second. And now we have Cole Denton out on the racetrack, the Rocket Man. If anyone's going to topple these guys, it's going to be him, going for his 9th pole position on the season. What does he have? Through 3 and 4 the first time around for Cole Denton. Good rotation off turn 4. Where does he put him? At top of the board for Cole Denton in the 46. Easy, quick time. The Rocket Man does not bow down from a challenge. And he's not done yet. He kicks on the thrusters, dives it into 3 and 4. He's looking for more. Off 4 to the stripe. Where does he land? Not quicker, but a 1909 is good enough to put Denton on the top of the board. But next up, points leader Austin Cook looking to add another pole to his season. This would be his 5th pole position if he was to take it from Cole Denton. Through 3 and 4, running a really good line. This track is not slowing down. If anything, it's heating up as Austin hits the stripe. 4th quickest for Austin Cook, just behind Nathan Lyons. And ahead of his teammate Curley. We'll see if he can improve and get into that top 3. It's going to be really hard, though. It's almost a full 10th he's going to have to make up on this second lap, and we haven't seen anybody do that yet. Cook off 4 at the stripe. No improvement for Austin Cook, but he gave it everything. You see, he had to catch the car going into turn 1 after that lap. And I believe that is going to set our field for tonight's race. So, lo and behold. Actually, I may have been wrong. Nope, Bryce Sanders still has to go out. I don't know what I was talking about. Bryce Sanders out on the racetrack. Do not count this kid out of top of the board for Sanders. The wheelman takes the pole position. Doesn't even need the second lap from his teammate Cole Denton. And Sanders, 5th in the standings, is going to start the playoffs on the pole. What a lap for Sanders. Doesn't even use that second one. Great lap. We'll try to get a word with Sanders here shortly. But next up, we're going to talk to Jordan Powell back there. Currently sitting inside his pit stall because he is 6th in the playoff standings. We'll see if we can get it. Well, maybe we won't. Oh, yeah, here he is. All right, we're good. See if we can get in touch with JP. Powell, what's up, buddy?
What's up, dude?
Well, you here? You made it to the playoffs. It's always good to say that. The banners on that car look sweet. They look absolutely amazing on that Huffman Chevrolet. Over the next 5 weeks, what's kind of your game plan? What's your goal for the end of the season?
Well, I don't know, man. It's if I'm gonna be honest with you, I just want to finish out the season. At this point, I'm mentally tired. My mental state has really dropped here in the past few weeks. I'm ready for a break.
Yeah, it's stuff like this. I mean, you know, sometimes we do it for the fun of it, right? But it can be kind of taxing, you know, especially with everything else. And I know you've had a really rough go at it, you know, the last couple weeks, months, even a lot of family stuff and things like that going on. And with that being said, you know, we're always here for you. We're always glad to have you here. racing with us. I know sometimes it's frustrating, especially with some of the guys we've dealt with in weeks past. But we're always happy to have you in the field.
Yeah, it is. I knew Nashville whenever stuff started going down. I knew it was just best for me to turn it right to the outside wall and kill the car on purpose, so that way I didn't have to deal with that. And I'm glad I did. Nothing on anybody. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but I can't deal with that. That's why I did it. But, I mean, like I said, my mental health has really dropped a lot. I'm feeling like I did a couple years ago, and now it's a road I don't want to go back down again. So, yeah, just want to finish out the season strong, best of my ability. Hopefully, grab some good finishes.
Well, hey man, we're glad to have you here. We're always here for you. It's always so much fun to be around you, just to have you here in the field. You kind of bring a light, even if you don't see it, you do. It's always so much fun to just have you hanging out with us and to race with us. And you're in the playoffs, so I mean that's a fun little thing too. That you made it into the playoffs. So.
And whenever they did the whatever it's called, whenever they redo the points, I was surprised. I mean, I'm pretty high in the points for the playoffs. I mean, it's not like I'm dead last. I don't know exactly. I think I'm sixth.
Yep. You'll be sixth.
I was surprised. I mean, it did make me smile a little bit. So I did miss a few races at the start of the season, but as far as I know, I haven't missed a race since I raced my first race. So just glad to be able to do it.
Heck yeah, man. Well, hey, thanks for talking with us. Good luck tonight, and maybe we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thank you, man.
All right, that was Jordan Powell, 6th in the points as we start the playoffs. Now, obviously, 7th in the points driver Blaine Miller is not in the field tonight, so we don't have an opportunity to talk with him. But we do have an opportunity to talk to the guy who's 8th in points, and that is none other than the driver number 45. That's Duncan Faw. We'll see if we can get a word with him real quick before we get the race going green here. Move him up to the boost. Duncan, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, you made it to the playoffs. You're right there at kind of at the bottom of the points there in 8th, but you have 5 races to make a big climb up these point standings. What's your game plan for tonight and over the next couple races?
Honestly, just ride out, take it smooth, try to gain many points without making anybody mad, so I don't get wrecked. Just capitalize on other people's mistakes.
So, and along with that, I mean, over the next couple of weeks, we've got a variety of different racetracks. We go to Five Flags, South Boston, Richmond, Hickory. Of those races, which do you think are best for you performance-wise as a driver?
Definitely South Boston. Last time we went there, I was running top 3 the whole race. Then the late caution, it kind of hurt me. I would think I was going to finish around 2nd, but the late cautions really costed me a good finish. Because I got spun on the 2nd to last one from the lead. That really stung.
Yeah. Well, hey, races get gridding up already, so sorry it took us a little bit to get to you, but glad we could talk to you a little bit before we took the green flag here at Myrtle Beach. I want to wish you luck tonight, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
All right, that was Duncan Fall, and the last driver we'll talk to tonight is none other than somebody who I'm probably a little bit biased when I root for, and that's PJ O'Leary in the 25 car. We're going to see if we can move him up and talk to him real quick. PJ, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ryan, what's going on?
Well, you made it to the playoffs, whether, by any means necessary. You still made it, so that's great. You're right there in that 10th spot. You kind of edged your way in after Robbie taking over race control for us. So it's a great opportunity. I think you've definitely earned it over the races that you've been with us. 5 races left. What's your mentality and what's your goal over this last couple races of the season?
Good question. I ain't too sure. And I'm not too sure how I made it to the playoffs, really. I don't know how I'm here. I guess just try to be consistent as I can. I'm still new to this car, so just try to learn as much as I can from the drivers and the car and my teammate, Tyler Bauer. You know, hopefully we'll be able to at least have a decent finish in the playoffs. I don't think we're going to win it because we got some pretty fast drivers in this league, but you never know. I've surprised people before.
Heck yeah, man. You're always a surprise. It's always fun to see, and especially to root for a guy. We both have the same home track, so I'm a little biased for you. So, hey, if anything, you're my what do you call it, my dark horse pick to maybe show some people up here in these playoffs. So don't let me down, man.
Yep. I'll try not to. Hopefully we can bring home a good finish for not only being the hometown driver and for the city of Nashville, but the hometown team as well, Rapid War Racing.
Heck yeah, man. Well, hey, thanks for talking with us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that was PJ O'Leary rounding out our interviews with the playoff drivers, and now the next time by, the drivers are going to take the green flag tonight for the first race of the chase. And it's sure to be a good one. Pace car pulls on down to pit road here at Myrtle Beach. We're going to get down in the sand here in South Carolina. Bryce Sanders, Cole Denton, and Bandit Motorsports going to lead them to the restart zone and into turn 1. Green flags in the air. We're racing at Myrtle Beach. Bryce Sanders dives it off into the corner. He's got a pretty good lead right now on Cole Denton. He's not quite clear of his teammate because Cole's fighting on hard on that outside. Teammates, they may be friends on and off the track, but when you're here racing for a championship, things get dicey, things get heated, and you don't leave an inch as they lean on each other just a little bit through 1 and 2. Side by side for the first 2 rows. Austin Cook single file back out there for the 5th spot. He's got Grantley Poole looking to his inside. Tyler Curley's trapped up top, and these two are still going at it for the race lead. These two know how to put on a show. Nathan Lyons is watching this firsthand, but they finally single file out through most of the field. And we're keeping it clean thus far. Cole Denton retains the lead off the high side from Bryce Sanders, the pole sitter. Sanders sliding a little bit there through 3 and 4, maybe getting a little bit antsy here early in the run to try to get that lead back. See all these cars fly by inches off the outside wall down the back straightaway. Oh man, you see Lyons sliding these cars around. These things are going to be wicked loose on corner exit. And if you notice something, these guys really get close to that outside wall before diving it down into the corner. To try to get the maximum amount of rotation possible, you got to use every single inch of this racetrack. Single filed out for the most part, but everybody sliding around. Grantley pulling the wall off Tyler Curley. Curley and Poole get together. They're the first side-by-side battle. That's all the way back there for the 6th spot. Curley's got that preferred line now on Grantley. I think he's going to have to give it up. Yep, he does. Iceman falls in line. Tyler Curley, and they've got a big gap now they've got to make back up to those top 5 drivers. Austin Cook, the back end of that top 5, they're all single filed out for the moment. But Austin's really digging in onto the back bumper of this 41 of Snook. Everybody's pretty much single filed out now. Cole Denton still with the race lead. Bryce Sanders in 2nd. Nathan Lyons in 3rd. Followed by Snook in 4th and Austin Cook rounding out the top 5. But Austin Cook, man, he has given this 41 a mirror full of this highlighter car. He's getting a good drive off corner exit. We'll see if he does. He looks to the inside into 1. Does Austin Cook have anything for him? Oh, he hip checks him just a little bit. Gets the 41 bent out of shape, and the 17 takes 4th. I don't know how happy the 41's going to be with that move, but that little scuffle they had has allowed the 4 of Curley and the 7 of Poole to close that distance back. And Curley's going to look to try to break into the top 5 once again from where they started. Great racing so far. Back up front, Denton has extended his lead by about 3 car lengths. It's about 3.5 the difference now. As he catches the fence off turn 4. Sanders back in 2nd. He's about 6 car lengths clear of Nathan Lyons in the 21. Austin Cook about 3 car lengths back on him as he slides on corner exit. You're going to see all of them doing that off turn 4 over the course of the night. So running through your top 10 since the start of the race. Cole Denton took the lead early from Sanders on lap 3. Sanders falling back to second after starting on the pole. He gets into the fence into 1. A little bit of right front damage there for Sanders. We'll see if that comes back to bite him. But just behind him, Nathan Lyons still a considerable distance back. About 6 car lengths the difference there between those second and third spots. From Lyons back to Cook, that's about 8 to 9 car lengths. About 2 car lengths back to the 41 of Snook there in 5th. Curley in 6th. Is caught back up to these guys in the top 5. Grantley Poole, though, has lost a little bit of time and has fallen back just a little bit, but he's still holding on to this 7th spot. Duncan Faw there in the 45, sitting comfortably inside the top 10 in 8th as he gets wicked sideways on corner exit right in front of the 25 of O'Leary. And just like we talked to him a minute ago before we took the green, O'Leary sitting there in 9th, rounding out the top 9. And then 10th is going to be Hutchinson in his first start in the series, who's a little bit of a ways back here in the 10th spot. It's going to round out your top 10 as they run. We got a lot of smoke in front of the field. Looks like Jordan Powell having a little bit of trouble in front of the leaders on the back straightaway. Jordan Powell struggling with the handling of that race car. Wicked sideways, clipped outside wall just a little bit it looked like, but see how close Denton gets to the wall on corner exit, showing you how to find all the speed this racetrack has to offer. It's all in those inches, all in those margins that not every driver can find, but Denton has shown all year long that he's the guy who can find it. He can find that ragged edge that a lot of drivers just simply cannot get close to. But Bryce Sanders now looks like that damage might be coming back to bite him just a little bit, as that right front looks to be kind of giving him a sore as they go through 1 and 2. Rest of the field coming by, everybody single file at the moment. Oh, we see Jordan Powell off the pace. Cole Denton and Jordan both go for a slide off turn 4. Jordan had to pull out of the way. Curley, though, trying to attack it back into the top 5 here. He's got the 41 in his sights and trying to reel him in. This is the closest he's been since his incident about 10 laps ago. But he just doesn't have to drive off the corner. Smacks the outside wall off turn 4 again. So many guys struggling with handling off that 4th corner. They're looking for that ragged edge like we talked about. They're looking for that inch margin. Not everybody can get it. You see, it's really hard to get this car to rotate through this corner. How sharp the angle is you have to get back to head back towards the stripe. Off the back bumper, you see Duncan Faw back there. He's got Grantley Poole to his outside. Heavy right side damage to the Iceman, as Duncan Faw is going to clear him with ease. And PJ O'Leary now going to try to follow him through as Duncan puts a little bit of a slider there on the 7 off turn 4. All these guys bumper to bumper. PJ breaks out of line, looks to the inside, doesn't have the run quite yet. But I think he's going to make quick work because that right front on the 7 is killed. See it looking off the back bumper of Duncan Faw. I mean, look at that right side damage. That whole, you can see the whole tread area of that tire as PJ O'Leary dives to the inside underneath the 7. PJ O'Leary got the inside groove on the 7 of Poole. He's going to dive it in deep here, right in inches off that inside pit wall. Try to slide up against him. He just doesn't have the run. You got to give it to Iceman. You got to give it to Grantley Poole. He's putting up a heck of a drive to stay on this outside, but unfortunately he's going to have to give it in, and PJ O'Leary is going to jump up to that 8th spot. Back up front, Cole Denton extending his race lead over his teammate Bryce Sanders, but Bryce Sanders now looks like he's falling into the clutches of none other than Nathan Lyons. Off the nose of Nathan Lyons as he does battle with the wheelman Bryce Sanders in the 15. Looks to his inside. Sanders really struggling on corner exit. Lyons has the inside groove. He's got the quarter panel. He's going to dive it in deep here in 3 and 4 and take the lead, or take the 2nd spot from Bryce Sanders. Sanders falls right back in line. It looks like he's got that right front damage. Really might be coming back to bite him now, but if you look at almost everybody, even Austin Cook has some right front damage on the nose of that 17 as the caution waves. Oh, Duncan falling to the outside wall. Let's run it back and see what happened. These guys were pretty close to each other prior to this, but Duncan pretty far out ahead. Let's see what happened. Oh, he jumped over the bumps right there on pit exit and slid right around, and the field tried to come by. Try to get himself turned just a little bit. That's where that couple of degrees of banking that you don't necessarily notice makes it hard to get these cars turned around right in front of the field, and the caution comes out on lap 28 of 175. Our first caution of the night. Go ahead and catch back up to the field real quick. Duncan gonna have to come on back around. Probably gets the lucky dog and come on back around, which he does. But big part of your story is right here, as Cole Denton is out front just behind him. You're looking at his front bumper. Nathan Lyons there in second. Sanders lost the second spot just prior to that caution. See him back there in the third position. It's going to bunch these guys back up for another restart. Looking into the chat so far, a lot of guys watching live. Thank you guys so much. Asking about if this is the first playoff race. It is. This is the first playoff race of a 5-race playoff. And it is, I don't know if I explained it pre-race, but if not, while we're under caution here, I'll go ahead and kind of give the lay of the land. So it is a playoff or a chase format similar to the chase format that we had way back in the 2000s, the early 2010s. That basically we're going to have 5 races. We had a points reset. We've already went through all those guys that are in that playoff battle, that 10 playoff driver field for the chase. And over these next 5 races, whoever ends up with the most points at the end of those 5 races is going to be our champion of the series. So right now, Cole Denton in a pretty good spot. He's 3rd in the points. Cole is currently leading, and he's 3rd in the points without the points finish from this race. And Austin Cook is back there. You see him just at a shot there, and that highlighter car is back there in 4th. So this is going to be a good effort from Denton if he can hold on over the next 150 laps. But it's going to be a long race. First caution at lap 28. So it's a pretty good effort from these guys as we come up to the choose cone. And these guys get set to take the green flag. Lights off on the pace car. 21 down to the inside. Sanders is going to take the outside, and Austin Cook is going to take the outside of row 2. Back there in that 4th spot, try to make something happen. But we'll see just how much that right front damage is really affecting Sanders off this restart. But Denton and Sanders, 1 and 2, going to lead him to the green flag again for our first restart of the day. Green flag in the air. Big stack up on the inside groove, but Cole Denton takes off. Sanders way up the track. Nathan Lyons going to try to squeeze in there underneath Sanders, but can't quite make it fit. Austin Cook way up the track. He's possibly going to lose another spot and fall back to 5th. Oh, we got a spinner. Big spin in the back, and the caution waves again. Oh, lots of cars collected. PJ O'Leary, Elmore in the 02, the 48 of Cameron. I believe it was Cameron was the initial car to spin. Let's run it back and see what happened. May not have been, actually. Hold on. Oh, it was the 41 car. All right, let's run it back. Curley also involved as well. Let's watch the 41 here. Oh, man, it looks like the 41 almost just parked it in the corner. Curley gets, unfortunately, run through by PJ O'Leary, who has nowhere to go. And Curley himself had nowhere to go in that incident as well. Let's go back and we'll watch it from the hood cam of Tyler Curley racing hard up on this outside behind his teammate. Kind of gets locked up here, knows he's going to have to follow the 41 through if he wants to advance position. and rolls the center just a little bit better and just knocks those rear tires off the ground from the 41 and sends him packing. Go ahead and catch back up to the field. Curly coming down pit road. Not taking his fast repair yet, but we got a lot of guys hitting. Nathan Lyons taking tires. 41 taking tires as well. Denton and Sanders pitting. Looked like just for fuel. That's going to allow these guys to go a little bit farther over this next run than some of these guys who opted to stay out, which looks like Grantley Poole, with a little bit of a strategy curveball here, is going to stay out on the racetrack. Along with Tyler Bauer, he's going to stay out, stay up in that second spot. And then the 83 of Hutchinson, he's going to fall in there in third. Austin Cook still on pit road. But Grantley Poole now is your race leader as we get set to go back green. All right, cars lined up. Pace cars pulling off. Grantley Poole and the 83 of Hutchinson. There's your front row as we get ready to take the green one more time. Second restart of the night. Poole and Hutchinson coming to the restart zone. And the green flag is back in the air. We're green once again here at Myrtle Beach. And look at Nathan Lyons making it 3 wide into turn 1. Wakes up the racetrack, moves William Cameron. Bauer falling back through the ranks. Here comes Lyons to his inside as they head into 3 here on lap 1. Bauer going to concede pretty well there. Things are going to get stacked up like a Cole Denton back there in the mix. Curly to the inside of Denton now as they head into 1. Cameron up into the wall. Everybody's falling back. Bauer losing spots. Sanders is going to clear him, and Denton doesn't like what he sees. Gets trying to split the middle. Curly spins him out. Curly gets spun, and there's a massive crash in turn 3. Wow. The drama is starting to unfold. We're going to run it back and see what happened here. Looked like both cars came up at the same exact time almost. We're going to watch it from the top down in slow-mo. So Denton starts diving down his descent. He looks like he wants to go 3 wide there, and that was a little bit of netcode help from them as well. We'll run it back again. We're going to watch that gap. Watch that gap between Curly's right front and Denton's left rear. Right there, no contact, but I think there was going to be contact anyway, whether there was netcode or not. This is kind of premature. Austin Cook collected as well. Curly gets sent right down into the pit wall. Oh, the 71 hard drives it right into the 4. God, takes him off the ground, gets airborne. PJ O'Leary somehow made it through that. Let's run it back and see what happened here from the 25's perspective. So he's hanging out back just a little bit, sees all this craziness unfold, and makes it through the crash. Wow. Watch it from his in-car. This is on board with the 25 of O'Leary. Riding it down, sunset and sun in his eyes. He just sees smoke everywhere and manages to thread the needle. Great wreck avoidance there from the 25. All right, we'll go ahead and catch back up to the field here. We got a lot of guys on pit road having to get some repairs. You know, that's not where they wanted to be in this scenario, but a couple of guys forced to take a fast repair. I believe Curly was one of them. Bauer possibly as well. Cook might have taken it as well. This is not going to bode well for him holding on to the points. As Cook is all the way down in, I believe, outside the top 10 possibly as we get ready to take the green. But right now, Grantley Poole in the 7, still out front. Nathan Lyons on his outside looking to steal one here in the playoffs as they go into the restart zone. Green flag's in the air. Oh, Nathan Lyons checks up big time on the restart, tries to get it going, and just can't quite get there, but here comes the Iceman with the race lead. 83 down low, Nathan Lyons up top. We've seen this battle shake out before. Lyons rolling that second groove. Bryce Sanders rolling it as well. Is going to try to follow Lyons through on the outside. Grantley Poole trying to hold on to this race lead. Not as fresh of tires on that 7 car as compared to Lyons in the 21 as he looks to the inside through 3 and 4. This might be quick work here for Lyons, and if you're Sanders, you want to clear this 83 and mount a charge. You don't want to let Lyons get away as he looks to the middle, 3 wide. Does he make it stick? He doesn't. Has to back out of the gas. 83 and the 41 both jump the curbs. Nathan Lyons takes the lead, and he's going to try to check out. Man, the 15, he's kind of trapped up here behind Iceman. Grantley Poole kind of holding up both these lanes, but Sanders just doesn't have the momentum. 83 up the track. Cole Denton making a charge up through the field as well. Denton back up to 6th. Oh, contact! Sanders up the racetrack. Cole Denton to the bottom 3 wide, and he's going to make it a 2-piece, and he's going to look for 3 underneath the 83, and he gets it. Up into the top 3 again for Cole Denton as Sanders gets dropped all the way back down the ladder. Oh, Sanders not going to be happy about that one. Moves the 83 up the track. Now he's to the middle 3 wide to take that spot back. Curley back up front. He gets tagged. Curley up and over, gets wrecked by the 83 car. And Austin Cook's involved again. Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh, here comes Curley. He's going to try to get payback. He's going to power drive the 83. He doesn't. Around he goes. Short track payback is oh so sweet, and Curley takes it out and delivers justice on that 83 car of Hutchinson. See what the 83 does here, but we're going to run it back first and foremost and watch what happened. So Hutchinson way up the track after getting raced hard there. And then, oh, just turns him right off the nose. Hold on, we'll see what happened here. On board with the 83. This will give us the best look possible as he shoots it up the racetrack. Off corner exit and just turns him right around. Doesn't even look, in all 4 tires off the ground for Curley. Man, let's see from his perspective. So the 83 is not even in view at this point. Curley doesn't clear himself, and golly, just a vicious right hook. We're back. We're going to watch this from Curley's onboard in the gyro cam. So you see the 83 way up there. Curley just staying to the left, staying to the left. Has to save it a little bit, staying to the left, and oh my gosh. We'll run it back, see where the 17 was in all this as well. On board with Cook through 3 and 4, so he's seeing him way up the track there. Probably not anticipating much to happen, but just hooks it left, and oh, he locks it up and slides to the wall. Big nose damage for Cook. Just locks up the brakes trying to avoid it. Drama, drama, drama. We're going to go ahead and catch back up to the field. Take us a minute here. We did a lot of analyzing. 1 lap to green. Nathan Lyons out front with the race lead. Grantley Poole doing a great job on these older tires to stick it out strong and still holding on to a front row spot. But what's going to be dangerous is Nathan Lyons has shown on multiple levels of racing here in the sim that he is a force to be reckoned with. And if you let him get out front uncontested, it's not going to be good. But Cole Denton, he's got a shot to kind of stay here with him as he's going to follow him on this inside once we take the green. Out front, green flag's out. Nathan Lyons gets a big shove from Cole Denton, and the 41 gives a big shove to the 7 as they head off into 1. But Nathan Lyons not going to be contested. Oh, Grantley Poole almost gets sideways off the nose of the 41. But no problems for Lyons, as Cole Denton now is going to challenge the 7 on the inside. Rocket Man looking to throw on the thrusters and try to get up there to the second spot. Diving down low, he's still got a lot of damage on that 46. But man, it looks like the handling's not working out too well as the 41's right against the back bumper. Not giving an inch here. Sanders back there underneath PJ O'Leary. That's for the 5th spot. Grantley Poole falling back, Denton up to 2nd. Grantley Poole back to 3rd, but the 41's looking for a quick move here as Sanders making time back there on that inside groove. But out front, Nathan Lyons in the 21. Oh, 7 has to park it right in front of Duncan Fall, and Duncan gets tagged by PJ O'Leary and goes for a slide. No caution yet. Cole Denton still 2nd, chasing down Nathan Lyons. Catches the wall just a little bit, and the 41 showing good speed here as well. As the caution waves, Duncan Fall still parked on the racetrack. It's going to be the first lap down, and he brings out another caution here, lap 60. Curly on pit road. He is out of fast repairs, and he is all but out of this race. That's going to put him in a deep points hole going into next week at 5 Flags. The good news for Curly is he has won there before. But Nathan Lyons looking to spoil the party here at Myrtle Beach. First time ever in the field. Looking to kind of stomp him up as Denton is going to have another opportunity to go after Lyons here on this next restart. $115 laps to go. Looks like Nathan Lyons opted to come on down pit road this time. Interesting strategy, possibly just trying to get the fuel where he can and when he can. Maybe run longer, maybe expecting some more cautions. So he's going to have more opportunities to pit. Grantley Poole on pit road as well. Oh, and tires as well for the 21. So he's taking opportunity of these 3 sets to try to make something happen here early. Grantley Poole needing to take tires as well. So that's going to put Cole Denton back out front. As we get ready to go green, next couple times by. Out front, Cole Denton in the 46. Just behind him, the 41 of Snook, first time starter in the series, showing good pace. Run top 3 all night long so far in his Ford Mustang. Bryce Sanders back up to 3rd after a couple of scuffles here. Fourth is going to be PJ O'Leary, so PJ O'Leary looking to surprise some guys here late in the going. As the sun begins to set in Myrtle Beach. Cole Denton still got some damage on that City Chevrolet. I should say. Double Chevrolet. It's going to be him and Snook leading him back to the green flag. And we'll see what Cole Denton can do with a little bit of clean air back on his nose as Flagman's got the green in the air, and we are racing again here at Myrtle Beach. Cole Denton to the inside, 41 up top. Bryce Sanders to his inside, trying to make it a Bandit Motorsports 1-2 as we come back to the stripe. Austin Cook back up to the 4th spot. It's going to be a good run effort for Cook, who's been involved in multiple incidences thus far in the race. It's still showing good pace. PJ O'Leary back to 6th. Underneath him is the 21 of Nathan Lyons, but here comes Sanders up the track. Going to try to use the 41 up just a little bit to try to get this position. Side by side through 3 and 4. Sanders going to lean up just a little bit, kind of use a little bit of a shoulder check here on 41 of Snook as they head into 1 and 2 once again. Coming down the back straightaway, they're still side by side. Austin Cook's reeling these two in. He might try to go for an opportunity to get a 2-piece. But that's also allowed Nathan Lyons back there in 5th to get back up into this fight. But like we talked about, the thing that's dangerous about Cole Denton, you don't want him to get out there and stretch his legs. Especially being side by side like this for this long. Off the nose of Austin Cook, watching these two fight for the 2nd spot. Where does Cook go? Oh, but now he's got Nathan Lyons to his inside. 2x2 in the 2nd and 3rd rows for position. PJ O'Leary's back up in this mix as well as he looks to the inside of Nathan Lyons. O'Leary's got that inside quarter panel, can't quite make it stick. Sanders, though, lost that spot to the 41, so Snook falls into 2nd. Sanders back to 3rd. Cook, 4th. Top 5 rounds out with Nathan Lyons there in 5th, and then PJ O'Leary outside looking in as they both smack the fence off 4. That was big contact there for Nathan Lyons. Looking to make something happen here, but for the moment, these guys are racing hard. They're racing clean, mostly single filed out. And as you guys are used to, we're going to take a couple laps here for a little crank it up section. So go ahead and turn that volume up on your TV, your laptop, your phone. Turn it all the way up and just listen and enjoy the sights and sounds that we can thankfully still get to enjoy here at Myrtle Beach of some short track racing action. Back from our Crank It Up segment, lap 84. We are inside 100 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach. Cole Denton still out front, but that 41 car has been on a hard charge these last couple laps. We've seen guys throwing. Oh my gosh, PJ O'Leary way out back, uses up Sanders, and he goes for that position. Into the top 4 goes PJ O'Leary on Bryce Sanders with force underneath the inside. Like we were talking about, Snook, though, has really dug into this lead on Cole Denton. He was at about like 6, 7, 8 car lengths the difference. And now that we've come back, it's been about 10 laps. He's now within 2 car lengths. So Cole Denton now losing speed over this long run. And the 41 of Snook is looking to try to capitalize on this as, oh man, it looks like they're catching up to a lap car. That's Grantley Poole in the 7. We'll see if he plays nice or if it plays a factor in this battle for the race lead. Oh man, Denton gets loose. Little bit of a scuffle there. Here comes the 41 right to the back bumper. What does he do? Does he use the bumper? Does he try to make a clean pass? He's right there. Where does he look? Goes to the outside. Denton looks low, follows, pull through, but the 41 is very clearly getting held up. Here goes Denton to the inside, but Poole blocks. Poole's gonna block. 41 to the bumper, looks to the inside, side by side for the race lead through the front straightaway. Right on the quarter panel. This isn't what Cole Denton wanted. He's getting all the way blocked by Poole. Tro's just trying to stay on the lead lap. But here comes Denton. Still trying to hold strong on the outside groove, but the 41 wants to take it from him. He moves him up the track. Down the front straight, the 41 has the advantage. Poole up top, hip checks the 46, and Snook to the race lead. Cole Denton losing time, but look at Nathan Lyons behind him now. He's caught these two up front. And now he's going to fight for this spot. Grantley Poole still winging it up top, just trying to stay on the lead lap, be that first car lap down. Sure didn't do Cole Denton any favors, but that 41 car is not messing around. He is trying to take off because he sees Nathan Lyons in his rearview mirror, and he is charging hard. Watching Lyons here on the attack for Cole Denton, who slides the right side. Nathan Lyons jumps to the inside groove here down the front straightaway. He's going to pass Denton, I think, here with relative ease as they head through 1 and 2. Maybe gives him a little bit of wiggle room. He does, but Cole Denton just does not have the drive off the corner. And into 3 and 4, Nathan Lyons going to roll this inside right along the pit wall. And Cole Denton not giving in, though. He's still up there. But that's going to be all she wrote. Nathan Lyons is now jumped up into the second spot as Denton hits the curbs and slides the car right in front of Poole. And the caution's going to wave. Another caution with 81 laps to go, just before lap 100. And this may count as our halfway yellow. I don't really know, but we're going to see if we can figure out what happened in this incident. Tyler Bauer was off the pace a little. Doesn't look like it was Bauer. Not really sure who all it involved. Oh. Wait. We go back. There was a car on the fence. Noted. See who this is. It's Cameron parked it right at the start-finish line. So we'll run it back and see what happened here with Cameron. Oh, him and Jordan Powell got together. Let's watch this and see. Oh, Powell gets in the fence and Cameron just power drives it right through him. And they kind of get hooked together. Unfortunate for both drivers there. Jordan Power trying to get out of the way. The 41, the race leaders came by and barely squeezed through the middle. And that's going to be what brings out our caution flag. Go ahead and catch back up to the field. Cameron coming down pit road. Going to put tires, but we got a lot of guys on pit road right now. Pretty much the entire field has opted to pit. Except for Cole Denton and Bryce Sanders, they have opted to stay on the racetrack. Lyons beats Snook off pit road, so that's a position there that Lyons gets off of the 41. A couple more drivers coming off pit road here. Austin Cook getting tires as well. But if you look, Cole Denton, I believe, did not pit. Or he might have been just didn't know. So either way, Nathan Lyons, it looks like, is going to be out front. Jordan Powell goes up and around to get his lap back. Tyler Curley's back on the racetrack after taking his repairs. Lights are off on the pace car. Denton up top, Lyons down low. Lyons, the race leader, going to lead it back to the green. Pace car pulls off, and Nathan Lyons still looks to try to spoil the party as the sun has set. The moon has risen here in Myrtle Beach, and the tides have shifted in favor of Lyons, but we're going to see what Cole Denton can do here in these last 80 laps. As we're going to take the green flag once again. Green is back in the air here at Myrtle Beach. Nathan Lyons jumps out front, commanding lead to 2 car lengths the difference over those two of Cole Denton and Snook fighting for that second spot. Cole Denton up top just does not have the pace, and the 41 slides right in front of Denton, and Denton jumps to the inside. Hard-fought battle here. Denton not giving in. It looked like he was going to concede, but 41 slipped up a little bit on corner exit, and Denton capitalized, and he's going to jump back to second. Sanders trying to follow him through. Austin Cook as well. Sanders jumps over the curbs. That's going to slow this line up, and we have a yellow again on the racetrack. Looks like the 7 of Grantley Pool. Oh, man, let's see what happened here. Drives it up underneath William Cameron. Goes to the inside. Who's 2 laps down. And, just overdrives the corner. And goes for a little slide there through 3 and 4. Run it back and see. We might be able to see a little bit better what he was seeing. Dove it in really hard. Cameron kind of shimmied to the outside. It looked like he was going to give a little bit more space, but Grantley just underestimated it. Back up with the field. Nathan Lyons out front. Cole Denton in second. 72 laps to go. So we have completed 100 laps as of 3 laps to go. Or 3 laps ago, rather. Not to go. Ago. 48 at Cameron trying to get his laps back. Curley as well, who's now 14 laps down on the field back there in 12th. Just trying to salvage what he can. Of this race tonight. Three drivers out thus far. That's Hutchinson, Elmore, and Kroll, who are all out of the race. We still have 12 cars and drivers in. And only 2 a lap down, but Cameron should be getting his other lap down here shortly. He is, so that will put Cameron back on the lead lap as the last car in 11th. And Curley's still 13 laps down, so he's going to need a couple more of these caution flags if he wants any opportunity at trying to get back on the lead lap. And even still, he's going to have to drive through a whole bunch of guys to get a solid result. But with the way these cautions have been rolling here over the last 30 laps or so, I'd say he's got a good opportunity that maybe he can have a shot. Lights out on the pace car. Here we got the choose cone. Nathan Lyons kind of parking it here in a little bit through 1 and 2 in front of Cole Denton, who kind of maybe showed his displeasure there as they made contact. Bryce Sanders up top on a hard drive, but Nathan Lyons kind of checking up the field here. I'm not really sure what his plan is. Sanders having to back up in front of Austin Cook, but Austin Cook back out front, and Nathan Lyons is really just messing with the field here. I'm not really sure what he's doing here off this initial restart, but here he goes. He's finally going to get into the restart, trying to take off, but Sanders matches him beat for beat. He's right on the doors ahead to 1. An inside groove, though, it's just almost unstoppable, but Sanders tries to drive it up on the outside. Can't quite get there. Clears his teammate at Denton, but now he's got his sights set on that 21 car. Oh, he dove it in really hard there. He's right on the back bumper. They're going to be really close as they come off the floor. On board with Sanders. Look how much deeper he goes into the corner. He spins Lyons. Around he goes, and around goes Sanders as well. Denton's collected. Multiple cars involved. O'Leary's in it. Denton's in it. Poole, Sanders, Lyons. I think Curley as well. Nope, Curley's down below. He goes to the pit lane to avoid it. Wow. Oh. 41 had to do the same thing to avoid getting took out there. Austin Cook made it through, I think. Yep, Austin Cook, no damage on that car. AJ O'Leary coming back around. Curley still trying to get some laps back. That was a good little opportunity there for Austin Cook. He managed to avoid the mess. But it was not good for the likes of Sanders, who has big time damage on that 15 car coming down pit road. I don't know if he has a fast repair. We're going to see what he does here as he pulls into his pit stall. He does. He has his fast repair in his pocket. So he pulls that out, but 65 laps to go. A lot can happen in that time. It's not going to be easy. Cole Denton still has some damage. I don't know if he doesn't have his fast repair or not, or if he's already used it, or maybe he's just saving it because he knows that there's so much time left. He might end up really needing that fast repair. Nathan Lyons, big time incident, a lot of damage, especially on the left side of that car. That's going to put him way back in the latter half of this top 10. Grantley Poole back on the lead lap this time around. PJ O'Leary back on pit road. But the 41 of Snook is the big winner here, as he's now back out front here at Myrtle Beach. Curley still getting some of his laps back up there around the outside groove. He's now inside 7 laps down, so he's been able to get some of these laps back, and with a couple more cautions he might just get there. But a big shuffle up front as David Snook is back out front. The 45 of Duncan Faw to his outside. Austin Cook down low on that second row, and above him is going to be William Cameron starting on the outside. Tyler Bauer, highest he's run all night. They're in the 5th spot. Cole Denton's going to be on his outside. Jordan Powell behind him, back on the lead lap. And then Bryce Sanders lines up on the outside of Nathan Lyons, and they're not going to be happy with each other. But the green flag is back in the air. They're like lightning in a bottle. Grantley Poole swerving all over the place already. And Snook takes off with the race lead. We'll see if Austin Cook has what it takes to run him down. But Duncan Falk capitalizing here late. He's moved up to the 3rd spot. Bauer racing hard with Cameron there on the inside. Way up the track he goes. They're leaning on each other. They bang doors coming to this line. That's back there for the 4th spot. Bauer on the inside right in front of Cole Denton, who's going to get a little bit impatient here probably. Oh, big contact with Cameron. Sanders outside of his teammate here. They might put him in a little bit of a Bandit Motorsports sandwich. Bauer has to choose where to block. He picks the outside, and around he spins, almost collects Cole Denton. I don't think Sanders meant to do that, but it took him right in front of the field, and around he went. Cautions breed cautions, and unfortunately what looked like it was going to be a pretty clean race to the finish through those first 30 laps has ended up being everything but. Run it back and see what happened, because that was very, very light contact for Bauer to spin like that. Off the nose of the 15 of Sanders. Constant contact there with Cameron. Sanders trying to move up top. Almost gets into the fence. Oh, just enough of a push to get upset that car. Run it back, watch Bauer. He's in car. Yep, nothing he can do there. Almost takes out Denton. Slides in front of the field. Collects Grantley Poole in a wicked contact. Oh my goodness. Oh, PJ barely makes it through. Let's run it back again on Bauer. Oh, big time contact. Let's run it back, see what they're doing. One of them was Grantley Poole. I think the other might have been Tyler Curley, possibly. Goes for his slide. Jordan Powell with a great center wreck avoidance. Curley collects it as well. PJ has to weave up to the top to avoid it. Bauer down to pit road. Gets 4 tires put on that car. All right, now David Snook, 41 car, back out front and still out front here at Myrtle Beach. And with these cautions, he's just adding up to that laps led tally. Lights off on the pace car again. This is the point where I have quick counting cautions. It's gotten a little ridiculous once again, but thank you guys for staying in and tuning in. We got a little over 50 laps to go here in the race. Snook out front, Duncan Faw up top. In the 45, Austin Cook is going to restart once again in that 3rd spot on the inside of row number 2. And then William Cameron is going to get another shot inside the top 5 on the outside of Cook there in that 2nd row. Pace car's off. Snook leads him to the restart zone with Faw on his outside. Green flag waves. We're racing again here at Myrtle Beach. 53 laps to go. Cameron way off the pace, way out back. Losing spots after spot after spot. Cameron slides, or Denton slides up in front of him. Gonna try to follow Cook through. Duncan Fall trying to fight on the outside, but the 41 is checking out, watching that side-by-side battle behind him. And now Cole Denton's going to try to slide on through after Austin Cook clears the 45 of Fall down the back straightaway. Bryce Sanders back up in this mix as well. Grantley pulls out on pit road. Tyler Curley's still 5 laps down, so he's going to need a couple more cautions to get back on the lead lap. It's possible we might have straightened things out just a little bit. 50 laps to go at the stripe. As Cole Denton is going to not quite make it past the 45, but he might do it this time. He does. And now his teammate of Sanders is going to try to follow him through as they single file out through the top 4. Off the front straightaway, Austin Cook in second, looking to run down David Snook in the 41. Cole Denton out back with pressure from his teammate there in Sanders. Duncan Faw in fourth as well, and Nathan Lyons back up into the top 5. Or top 6, rather. But if you look off the back bumper of Duncan Faw, I'd say it won't be long before Lyons is back inside this top 5 and possibly trying to hunt down these Bandit Motorsports cars up front. A lot of hand movement there from Sanders you saw inside that car. Let's ride along with him here through 1 and 2 as he starts a new lap. Watch his hand movement here from Sanders. Oh, lots of movement there through 1 and 2, but I think 3 and 4 is where it really comes into play. Right down there against that wall, trying to get the good rotation. You really got to catch it on corner exit because that right rear tries to step around. A lot of these guys underneath the blanket, but look at the 17 going for the race lead on the 41. Right to the back bumper, 45 laps to go with the line. Austin Cook looking for the race lead, looks left. Has to swake up in behind the 41, but now he's going to see what he can do with him into 1 and 2. Big way out, has to check up. Almost gets into the back of the 41. Snook just parking it in the middle of the corner, preventing Austin Cook from being able to make this pass. We've seen a lot of big spins off the bumper tonight. It's hard to keep that thing straight, even with a little bit of contact. So what does he decide to do? Because he's got 2 Bandit Motorsports cars hot on his heels. He's just going to look for an opening, and I think he might get it here off turn 4. Looks to the inside. Cook's got the quarter panel. He doesn't. 41 shuts the door. Austin Cook's going to run out of time for these games. He moves him up the racetrack. Here comes Austin Cook to the inside for the lead. Cole Denton and Sanders is there as well. 4 cars under a blanket for the lead. Austin Cook takes the lead from the 41, but he gives him contact as they come off turn 4. Lots of movement there from both of those cars, but Austin Cook clears him for the race lead, and now Cole Denton tries to follow him through. 41 to go at the line. New leader Austin Cook out front, side by side for second with Denton and Snook. But Sanders right on the back bumper, pushing each other like it's a plate track almost through the center of the corner. Sanders now looks to the inside of his teammate. They're 3 wide just for a moment. Sanders has to check out of the gas. Duncan Fall catching back up to this group as well. Cook 3 car lengths clear of Cole Denton for second. Sanders now first side-by-side battle. That's for third. He clears the 41. The 41 has to get way out of the gas. He falls into fourth, and now he's going to fall into the clutches of Duncan Fall as he continues to fall on down through the field. Big notice, though, for Sanders. He's got good speed now compared to this 46, and that 46 has a whole lot of damage on every single side of that car. Bent quarter panels, bent left rear and right rear quarter panels, both dented in. Doors on the right side dented in, right front damage as well on this 46 car, but he's still holding on to this second spot, and it looks like he wants some more as he goes in on Austin Cook. Austin Cook with a 1.5 car length advantage as they go down the back. Right there along that pit wall through 3 and 4, up to that second groove on corner exit. Oh, we got a car way up the track, possibly into the wall. It's the 41. Duncan Fall leapfrogs him off the mistake, and he's going to take fourth, but look at the 41 fill that hole. jumps right in front of Nathan Lyons in the 21. He has to check up out of the gas, and he's going to fall back even more, but he's still holding on to that 6th spot. About half a second clear of PJ O'Leary in the 25. Jump back out front. Austin Cook still with about a half a car length advantage over the 46, but it looks like this margin is shortening as Cole Denton impressively is driving this little wrecked race car around here with absolute masterclass. But look at Austin Cook losing time through the corner as Denton's right to the back bumper on exit. Here comes Denton, looks low. Austin shuts the door. He's right to the back bumper. He's got a little bit better drive off, but I think it's only a matter of time before Cole Denton gets this position. Bryce Sanders currently holding on to the 3rd spot, about a 1.5 seconds up on Duncan Fall for 4th. And these 3 cars have all but broke away from the rest of the field. Still got guys way out back. Tyler Curley there 5 laps down, praying for more cautions, and these guys out front are probably praying for the opposite because they probably all feel like they've got the car to go the distance and get the win. But Austin Cook loses the nose just a smidge. That's going to give Cole Denton an opportunity right on the quarter panel. Dives it to the inside as they go into 1. What does Austin Cook do here? Does he make his outside work? We saw it work off the initial start to take the race lead. Austin Cook's going to have to do a whole lot of manhandling to try to get this thing to work. Cole Denton forced to subside. Austin Cook retakes the race lead, but Cole rolls the center so much better than Austin Cook does right now. And with 30 laps to go, there's not a whole lot of time left. You see just a little bit of sparks coming out that right rear of the 17 car. He smacked the spoiler against the fence, but he keeps it straight. But look at Cole Denton still on the back bumper of the 17 car. He is not giving in. Let's watch his hands work as he tries to make some kind of motion out of this 17 to get back to the race lead. $29 to go. 17 checks up. He spins. The 17 slides and the caution's going to wave again. Oh my goodness. Mistake after mistake throughout the whole field. And you just can't touch here. It's so difficult with these cars at this track on this surface to make any kind of contact, especially if it comes straight from the back without spinning out. But let's watch it here. We're going to go in slow-mo whenever they get through 1 and 2. So right here, Cole gets his run. He's building all this momentum. Austin's trying to bring that right rear around, really rotate the race car. He gets right to the bumper. I don't think Cole thought he was that close. And unfortunately just hooked him in just the right spot. And around he goes, but it looks like Austin does a great job of saving the car. He does. No contact, I don't think. If he does, it was with the rear, and it was just ever so slightly. But oh so unfortunately, that's going to put Austin back down pit road. We're going to see what he does here. It looks like, can't tell who that is. I believe that was Sanders and Denton all pitting. They could possibly not have been able to make it on fuel, so they're going to go ahead and pit this time. We'll see who takes tires and who doesn't. Yep, Cole Denton going to go ahead and take all 4 tires. Sanders as well. Austin Cook also taking 4 tires. PJ O'Leary off pit road. He took 4 tires as well. He's a lap down now, I think, but he's going to be able to get his lap back as well as everybody else. As Cole Denton slides off pit road, Austin Cook, no damage necessary to repair there. He's going to go ahead and come off pit road after taking his 4 tires and fuel, so he's going to be good to go the rest of the way. And these guys are going to give everything they got to go for the win. As Jordan Powell's out front at the moment with the first position. Tyler Bauer back there in second, and this running order could get a little bit shuffled up, but at the moment, Jordan Powell is out front here at Myrtle Beach. 1 lap to green. Next time by, they will take their green flag. Austin Cook's going to line up at the tail end of the field. So this is going to be interesting because we don't really know how this is going to shake out. Cole Denton is still up here after that whole ordeal. And wouldn't you know it, Jordan Powell in that 75 is going to lead us back to the green flag. He was multiple laps down at one point, so he's driven back up in here. Had a couple lucky cautions go his way, back on the lead lap, and he's going to lead us back to the green flag. Tyler Bauer behind him. Snook up top. Cole Denton behind him. We'll see how this shakes out. Green flag's in the air, and here goes Jordan Powell leading him off into 1. Jordan on the inside, the 41. Power drives it through 3 and 4. Jordan's strapped down low, gets a little bit sideways, and he's going to lose that race lead to the 41 of Snook off the restart, but Cole Denton charges to the outside now. Oh, man, Bauer is getting swallowed up by the field. Cole Denton to the outside of Jordan now. I don't think he's going to be able to make the move just yet, but Nathan Lyons is looking to make some kind of quick work of both these guys. And if Cole doesn't make quick work of Powell, who is doing a great job on this inside, they lock together. Just for a moment, it seemed like those two cars didn't want to separate. Now here comes Nathan Lyons to the bottom. Oh, Denton up the track. He doors Jordan Powell up the racetrack. They make contact all over the place. Nathan Lyons trapped in the middle, 3 wide now. Jordan Powell way up the track and dropping like a rock through this field, but Nathan Lyons, who looked like he was going to get the better end of that deal, unfortunately slid over the bumps off the pit lane exit, and now he's got Bryce Sanders to his inside. As for the 3rd spot, Nathan clears him. Duncan Faw to the outside. He's rounding out our top 5 now in the 5th spot, and Bryce Sanders in 4th. He's got a mirror full of the 45 looking to his outside, but Sanders trying to park it right between these two cars inside 20 laps to go. Snook out front in the 41, catching the 4 car of Curley, who is still a lap car, and he's 1 lap down. He does not want to go another lap down. But, man, he is severely, severely off the pace, just trying to harvest a finish. He's already won better than he was earlier in 11th. He was in 12th. So he's looking to get a little bit better points finish, but the 41 looks like he's going to put him another lap down yet again. It's little credit card swipe there from David Snook on the lap car at Curley. Going to go down to that inside through 1 and 2 and make quick and easy work of the 4 car at Curley. Managed to hold him up just a little bit, but now Denton is going to have his work cut out for him. Not necessarily in getting by Curley, but in cutting down this distance to the 41 car, because that lead is only going to get bigger and bigger, and he's only got 16 laps to try to run him down. So Curley now 2 laps down. Grantley Poole 6 down. Jordan Powell forced to come to pit road as Curley smacks the outside wall. Nathan Lyons goes underneath. Curley's going to try to follow Denton through, but now Denton's got a clean racetrack in front of him with his eyes set on the 41 car. But even being inside 6-7 tenths of a second, I don't know if he's got enough time to break that gap. Cole really trying to run the bottom of the racetrack to make time, but I don't think it's working out too well for him. He just doesn't have the run down the straightaways to make up any kind of a distance. But the 41, though, he's wicked sideways. But I think at this point, you got to be all gas, no brakes. You got to give it everything this car has in these last 13 laps to try to secure the win. Hard racing back there between Bauer and Cameron. That's for the 8th spot. Oh, Curley up into the fence, it looks like, on PJ O'Leary, and he spins, and the caution waves inside 12 to go. Run it back and see what happened. And Austin Cook's still way back here as well. Austin Cook looks to the inside. Oh, gets into the back of the 4 and just bounces himself off. Run it back and see exactly what happened, but that's what it looked like to me. Misjudged the positioning of the car. So Curley kind of gets caught in the fence and checks up in front of PJ, and then PJ goes for a slide. Seems like everybody's been caught up in some kind of mess tonight. There has not been one person spared from the chaos. As PJ goes ahead and head back up to the field, going to have to come down pit road to fix some of these repairs. And Curly now getting his next lap back. It's going to put Curly effectively back on the lead lap. And Snook, I'm not sure if that's what he wanted to see in the form of that caution, because now Cole Denton there in second is going to have an opportunity to win here. But Nathan Lyons, though, he's going to have something to say about that. The tides have not shifted and stayed in one spot, that's for sure. One person rises, another falls, and it seems like that same driver could rise and fall just as quickly as they got back up there. Whole lot of chaos, but we appreciate you all so much for tuning in to the race tonight. 20 watching live to watch the last 10 laps of this race. We'll see if they make it all the way to the end or if we need an overtime finish here at Myrtle Beach. Jordan Powell trying to get some of his laps back from repairing some of that damage. Grantley Poole doing the same thing as well. I believe it'll be the next time by we'll get the 1 to go signal. Grantley Poole, I believe that's going to put him back on the lead lap. Nope, he'll be 1 lap down now. Will Grantley Poole, so he'll be the only car any kind of a laps down, other than Jordan Powell, who is currently back on pit road fixing some repairs. And we got the 1 to go signal. And Cole Denton now is going to be lined up on that outside groove just where he wants to be to try to go for this race win. But Nathan Lyons on the inside of that second row. Oh, yeah, and you already see him pushing that 41 car. These guys are getting antsy here. They're going to have 7 laps to go when we take the green. And I think at this point, it is anybody's race. Pace car pulls off. It's in the command of David Snook and Cole Denton as they take the green and they head off into 1. Oh, they're leaning on each other. He used up Cole Denton all the way through the corner. Denton spins him out. Lyons takes out Denton, and there's a big crash in turn 1. I wouldn't go as far out to say as that was intentional on all accounts. And the entire first 2 rows gets taken out in that crash. Run it back and see here, because that definitely looked intentional on for all intents and purposes. Off the nose of Nathan Lyons here on the restart. The 41 kind of shoulder checks the 46, and then man, I don't know. I feel like a lot of that was just like no give and take, and especially on Lyons' part, I don't feel like Lyons had to really get caught up in that. Doesn't really. He may have been getting a little help out back though. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt for the moment. So off the restart, looking down at the first 2 rows, it all kind of starts with the 41 and the 46 getting into each other here into the corner. Not giving an inch. 46 comes down, 21 comes up, and it's kind of just a chain reaction at that point. So another caution, I believe. That means we are gonna get an overtime finish. And unfortunately, I believe that's going to be the last chance for a lot of these guys. But Sanders and Austin Cook made it through the mess, as well as Tyler Bowers. So let's run it back and watch their perspectives of the whole thing as well, because they kind of had a good look through this. Watch Austin Cook's on board, as he's kind of up on the outside to see which way he goes to get through this mess. Green's out on the restart. They He sees them get together. He's out of the gas, and gets back in it, dives it left as they all stack up against the outside wall. As they say, the seas kind of parted for Bryce Sanders here in this instance. Off the rip on board Bryce Sanders this time. Checks up, and then they all just wreck, and the seas part. And through goes the wheelman of Bryce Sanders. Go ahead and catch back up to the field. A lot of guys going to be really mad at each other after this race tonight. Get caught back up. 1 to go as they come back to the green flag. Green's in the air, and we are going to get a 2 to go signal restart here. Next time by, they're going to get the white flag. So we got a green-white checkered finish. Sanders out front of Austin Cook. Oh, they got a big crash in the back. Right, and we got a caution. We're going to have overtime. Tyler Bowers involved. PJ O'Leary possibly involved as well. Run it back and see, because that was a whole lot of mess. Nathan Lyons making moves back there. 41 splits it middle 3 wide. Bowers still down low. Totally fine. And, oh, just gets turned by Cameron. Hold on. Let's watch this back again. So the 41. Lyons uses up the 41. Takes out the 48. Again, chain reaction. That all stems from that 21. Not of Bauer. But of Nathan Lyons, who kind of started that whole mess. Run it back and see. Kind of a domino effect starting with Lyons here. You see him backing up the corner. He drives it hard on exit and just drives right up into the 41's door. And that chain reaction starts. As Grantley pull, you see him has to bail. Cameron gets caught up in it. Disappointing. Disappointing on all accounts. For most of these drivers. There's not a whole lot you can do. But Sanders out front again. Austin Cook, it seems like every time we seem to get a guy who's going to stay out front, they just wreck each other. So the respect is at an all-time low. But I think if you want a solid finish between a handful of drivers, you're going to get it here between Sanders and Cook, because these guys have raced each other hard all season long. And although they've had run-ins, I think in a situation like this, they can give a pretty exhilarating, pretty exciting finish for the end here at Myrtle Beach. I believe next time by is going to be our choose cone and the 1 to go signal for these drivers for our first attempt at overtime. Sanders with the race lead. Austin Cook in second. Tyler Curley in third. Nathan Lyons up to fourth. Duncan Faw in fifth. Cole Denton in the sixth spot. William Cameron in seventh. Bauer eighth. David Snook in ninth. And then as of right now, we've got a couple cars on pit road with heavy damage that are multiple laps down, and it looks like are not going to finish higher than where they currently are running. So next time by, first attempt at overtime for these drivers. Curley making a hard charge up to the outside of row number 1. Austin Cook going to follow Sanders through on the inside. Nathan Lyons on the outside in front of Tyler Curley. We're going to see who comes away with the race win as they head to the restart zone. Green flag's in the air. Sanders is going to lead them off into 1. Possibly the last time. Next flag is going to be the white. Nathan Lyons in trouble. Big contact with Nathan Lyons. Not sure what happened there, but he is off the track. Cole Denton down on pit road as well. And they take the white flag. Sanders leads Curley, Cook, and Faw. Does Sanders get here first? I think he's going to do it. After a caution fest race here at Myrtle Beach. Cameras flashing. The stars are shining on Bryce Sanders as he takes the checkered flag for the first race of the playoffs here in the Late Model Stock Weekly Series. Sanders going to burn it down here on the front stretch. Sanders' first inaugural winner here in the playoffs. And after a race like that, I think we're just going to go ahead and call her a night, because we got some things we got to sort out, and we're probably never going to get them sorted. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world. Sorry we can't put on a better product than what you guys seen here tonight. We have this week in and week out where it seems like we're going to fix things, and the sun looks a little bit brighter, and then the clouds start to settle in just as quick as the sun began to shine. But either way, congratulations to Bandit Motorsports, Bryce Sanders, in the 15 on his race win here in the playoffs. It's going to give him a good points jump in the standings to start the year, or start the last 5 races of the season, I should say, in his hunt for a championship. So don't forget, next Thursday night will be the continuation. We'll be at Five Flag Speedway. Same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time is when we'll go live there with our pre-race coverage. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week at Five Flag Speedway. See you then.